Hi everyone, I'm really excited to share with you one of the video lessons we're creating. This is part of a course that will help teachers bring AI into their classrooms, even if they have no AI background. This specific lesson we actually taught last week in Mrs. Neville's classroom at New Vision Charter School. So I hope you enjoy and it gives you a little peek into what's coming. Thanks.
Today, you will guide your fifth graders as they take their raw, messy invention ideas and structure them into clear, methodical engineering plans using AI. You do not need a background in computer science or engineering to teach this class. Your focus today is purely on helping students achieve clarity of thought. Before the bell rings, gather the essentials: the students' Lesson 3 worksheets containing their original sketches, the new printed Lesson 4 worksheets, and a set of shared iPads. Set up your classroom environment by making sure the PROMPT poster is visible. Then write today's core principle on the whiteboard. Clear thinking beats fancy words. Start the lesson by reminding them of a key concept from last week: sycophancy. Ask them what happened when they asked ChatGPT if their idea was good. They need to remember that AI is designed to confidently agree with them, even if their physical logic is deeply flawed. By grounding the room in this mindset early, you establish your true purpose for the hour. You are here to facilitate rigorous critical thinking, not to act as technical support. This timeline shows the pacing for the first 22 minutes of class. Notice that all iPads remain completely tucked away during this phase. Place students in pairs for an analog verbal test. Partner A gets exactly 3 minutes to explain their invention out loud, while Partner B listens. Then they switch roles. Give Partner B specific questions to ask when things get confusing. Have them ask, "What happens first?" or "What part actually touches the clog?" to test the physical logic and safety of the invention. As you walk the room, listen closely. You will hear students rely on shortcuts. They will skip necessary steps or make vague claims like, "It just goes in and fixes it." When a pair hits a dead end, resist the natural instinct to jump in and rescue them. Tell the explainer to try describing that specific part in a new way and step back. Letting the communication breakdown happen serves a specific purpose. Forcing students to experience this verbal struggle physically exposes the gaps in their own logic before any AI enters the equation. Looking back at our timeline, the 22-minute mark is where we introduce the iPads and transition to structuring those ideas. Direct the class to the PROMPT framework. Assign the role of product engineer, output as steps and materials, and people as builders. The AI processes their raw text into 3 structured columns: materials, steps, and safety concerns. This image shows section 1 of the student worksheet. Instruct the pairs to read the AI's response and document exactly 3 materials, 3 steps, and 1 safety concern directly onto the page. While they write, actively circulate the room. Stop at different pairs and ask if the AI's suggested steps actually make sense in the real world. A beautifully formatted list on a screen does not guarantee a functioning tool. Recognizing the difference between text generation and actual physical engineering protects students from blindly trusting digital outputs. Our timeline now reaches the 37-minute mark. This kicks off the most intensive critical thinking phase of the entire lesson plan. Introduce the concept of an assumption. Define it clearly for the classroom as a hidden, unstated belief that a particular step will easily work, like assuming the clog is easy to reach. Next, have the students instruct ChatGPT to list the assumptions embedded within the very plan it just created for them. Looking at section 2 of the worksheet, students must document 2 assumptions the AI identified, plus 1 they noticed themselves. Then they must circle the riskiest assumption on their list. Be aware that AI can sometimes generate an overwhelming wall of text detailing every possible flaw. If students get bogged down, step in and guide them to select just one single risk to focus on. Hunting for hidden flaws in a computer's logic shifts their perspective. They stop operating as passive consumers and start acting as critical evaluators of information. The final block on our timeline begins at the 47-minute mark. It is time for the revision sprint. Here in section 3 of the worksheet, students must select exactly one element to improve to address their riskiest assumption. They can check the box to change a step, swap a material, add a safety rule, or plan for the tool getting stuck. Your job here is boundary control. Prevent scope creep by ensuring they write down one highly specific fix, rather than attempting to redesign their entire invention from scratch. Wrap up the class with the exit ticket in Section 4. Challenge students to draft 2 different ChatGPT prompts of our invention, one written for a specialized engineer and one for a 10-year-old. Look at the progression they achieved in an hour. They took a vague concept, forced it into a structured plan using AI, and then rigorously critiqued that AI to isolate and fix a hidden flaw. By simply pacing the room, guiding the process, and asking questions that demand clarity, you have successfully taught a high-level lesson in AI literacy.